Hey people, Teacher Phelps here, and this is part 2 of my videos on AI in education. Please feel free to watch my first video if you really just kind of want some good background about how I'm feeling overall about this topic. An apologist is defined as someone who offers an argument in defense of something maybe controversial. In this video, we're going to be talking about the brain-dead arguments that AI apologists helplessly use over and over to defend the use of AI in education. Before we go over these terrible arguments, first let me restate and I guess maybe rephrase my main points. Number 1, we should be concerned about AI in schools. Number 2, teachers, schools, administrators, they should all collectively pump the brakes when it comes to promoting or encouraging the use of AI. Now, why should we be concerned about AI? Well, I have about 4 main areas of concern that should at least cause us to pause our love for AI. They are: number 1, moral and ethical concerns. Number 2, data collecting concerns. Number 3, educational and thinking concerns. And number 4, corporate greed concerns. With those concerns kind of in the background of this discussion, here are my top 5 most overused brain-dead arguments for AI. These top 5 have really become the same tired arguments that I hear over and over and over again as I debate this topic on the internet with randos, or really as I debate other teachers, sadly. To see a little bit of what I'm talking about, I would recommend checking the comment section of my part 1 video. In that section, you see many of these same arguments being brought up over and over, also in maybe slightly different ways. As always, I do my best to respond and engage with every single comment that comes up on my video. So again, with this video, if you love what I'm saying, if you hate what I'm saying, please feel free to comment and I'll jump on to just comment back and share my thoughts. Let's get started. We're going to start with number 5 and count down. The number 5 terrible argument for AI is: AI will create less work for teachers. Literally, this was stated at a PD I attended about AI that essentially my school required us to attend. First of all, my major concern with statements like this is that it overshadows and downplays how much teachers are overworked. Teachers currently are under unrealistic expectations and they really have too many tasks and things they have to worry about on their plate. Rather than work to reduce the amount of tasks, jobs, and requirements that teachers have, we are now saying, oh, no worries, AI will fix that. Arguments like this feel often like an excuse to really once again sidestep the major issues and blame teachers for being overwhelmed in their profession. Oh, you're overwhelmed? Aren't you leveraging AI for help? No? Well, you really should. Also, let's be real. AI does not reduce much work, if any, for teachers. Personally, I haven't found anything reasonable or special about AI that would help reduce my work, unless of course I let it grade for me or create my PowerPoints, but at that point, why am I even teaching? Some people might say, well, they're great for helping to create lesson plans, but honestly, lesson plans are just obnoxious, busy work that teachers have to create for busybody administrators. Rather than make it easier to produce these lesson plans, we should strive to get rid of the requirement for them entirely. And that is what needs to be discussed and debated. If anything, AI has actually caused me more work and more stress in my teaching career. Not only do I have to sit through these AI promotional meetings and professional developments more often, but now I have to use AI almost every day to help stop students using AI to cheat. Constantly trying to monitor AI use and come up with ways to catch AI cheaters is honestly a nightmare in my class, and it takes up more and more and more of my time, especially when I'm grading recently assigned work. Number 4, get with the times, or you're just an old man yelling at a cloud. Yeah, sure, just accept invasive technologies because they're new and cool and everyone's using them anyways. Well, why fight it? Well, we fight new technologies because we can identify specific concerns with them. I've previously laid out my concerns at the beginning of this video, and if these concerns are not addressed and you just want to completely ignore them, then sure, yeah, I'm an old man. But if you actually want to think critically about this topic and really engage in the discussion, address these concerns, then simply saying get with the times is no way to engage at all in this discussion. If anything, it's an ending to the discussion. It's a hand wave away of all the problems and concerns related to AI. Number 3, employers are going to want people that know how to use AI in the future. Now, this may be somewhat true, but there are a few key ideas that I want to highlight. First of all, let's just be real. Using AI is not that hard. Any person can really take a class, maybe just mess around or do some simple research on AIs to really figure out how to use these chat programs. Second of all, and most concerning, is that the discussion related to jobs should be centered around how AI is going to be taking jobs. Literally, AI is going to be taking multiple jobs from the market in favor of less and less employees. Eventually, what happens when prompters of AI aren't even going to be needed? To put it simply, if humans are dumbing themselves down more and more and more and allowing AI to sort of fill these gaps in skills and knowledge, at what point are you any different than AI? Eventually, wouldn't AI just take more and more jobs, including your own? Instead, as I argued in my first video, we should teach learners and future employees the powerful skills of operating without AI. We should be teaching them the bedrock understandings of critical thinking and how these systems work. Then they will be more equipped than ever to think on their feet and be intelligent in ways AI never even could be. Number 2, we need to teach them how to use it. Now, this is often used in response to complaints or concerns about students using AI to cheat or using it inappropriately. And I especially hear this statement the most from other teachers. And honestly, I just think this statement's dumb for a number of reasons. First of all, the problem with students using AI and cheating comes from the fact that students already know how to use AI. Again, it's really not that difficult. In fact, AI chat programs and AI in general is meant to assist humans in the most easiest of ways. Students are already using AI in advanced ways to cheat on assignments and really get around AI detectors. Ultimately, this statement kind of boils down to teach them that cheating is bad. And again, it's just so brain dead. When has that ever worked? Like, come on. Now, if you're maybe saying that we should teach students cool new things to do with AI, well, I would probably just leave that up to the individual teacher. In my opinion, every single hot new cool use for AI really just becomes a rehash of what teachers are already doing in their classrooms. Essentially, and from what I can tell, we are encouraging teachers to use AI not because it's amazing and actually improves teaching. Instead, it just feels like a promotional push to just use AI just because. I feel like the whole push or discussion is just dumb, and if anyone out there has any actually good or powerful applications for using AI, please let me know. So far, I've seen nothing mind-blowing or groundbreaking, and it just feels like forced, cool new fluff. And yes, I've watched plenty of those TED Talk and other Khan Academy videos promoting AI. And lastly, I do just want to be very clear, I absolutely do believe we should be educating students about the dangers and concerns related to AI. We should absolutely encourage students to talk about, research, write about, maybe develop projects about AI. The responsibility of education in schools is to teach students how to function in a world where if the power is shut off or they don't have their smartphone on them, they can think and problem solve using their own powerful brain. That way, by doing that first, AI can actually become a powerful tool rather than a desperate crutch. The number one most terrible argument used by AI apologists is, "It's just like the calculator." Yes, the dreaded calculator argument. I hear this the most when debating people across planet Earth. It sounds so good on paper. Just like people adapted to the calculator in schools and society, we too should adapt to AI, right? Please don't be fooled by this pathetic argument. First of all, you can use this same argument to justify or encourage any type of new piece of technology, good or bad. Secondly, and this gets to the heart of why this is a bad argument, this is really just a fallacy. This is the logical fallacy of false equivalency. To put it simply, this is not an apples to apples comparison that is being made. In fact, this argument just completely glosses over and ignores the major world-shifting differences between calculators and AI. These are differences that we should truly consider and talk about. Now, I'm not going to go over all of these differences. I'll leave that to you, the viewer, to ponder about. But I do just want to remind you of my 4 main concerns related to AI. And I want you to ask yourself, do calculators have similar concerns? Spoiler alert, the answer is not really. My point is simply the specifics matter. And that's what seems to be missing by this garbage argument. Other teachers and people in society seem strangely immediately willing to accept AI in their lives, as if there's nothing we can do to stop or restrain it. Well, they're wrong. If we do deem AI programs to be a concern, especially in the world of education, then we need to take actions now. We need to limit AI use in schools, and we need to help develop rules and laws to hold AI tech companies accountable for their potential invasive infractions. Also, kind of in a roundabout way, by using this argument, I think people don't realize they're almost making my argument for me. Calculators currently are not used wholesale in schools. There are many math classes, tests, quizzes, assignments, and just situations where calculators are completely banned from use. Also, even if calculators are allowed, students are still required to show their work and explain how they solve the problem, maybe in a written format. So even with calculators, their use is heavily restricted in schools so as not to disrupt the necessary learnings and advancements in our problem-solving capabilities. Now, with the advanced possibilities for AI to completely substitute all free thought and critical thinking, this, coupled with the inability to properly police and identify AI cheaters, we should even more heavily restrict its use rather than encourage it. Is that the point that these calculator historians are arguing? I highly doubt it. There you have it, folks. Those are my top 5 terrible arguments used by AI apologists. These are the same weak, tired, boring arguments that people use over and over and over again to justify AI, when in reality, we need to think critically about this technology and we need to decide for ourselves what is important and what is necessary. Again, as always, if you like or hate this video, please feel free to leave a comment. I will be happy to respond. I really love debating this topic and really just discussing this topic. And I think ultimately, I would love to be proven wrong. I want to feel better about AI in society, about AI in our schools, okay? I have debated and talked about this with many people. I don't feel better. If anything, as each day goes on, I feel worse. I wish you all the best of luck. I hope you continue to have a wonderful summer, and stay tuned for my next part 3 video where I'm going to be making an epic and important comparison between AI and smartphones in schools. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful day. Get out, view some of that sunshine. If it's raining, maybe just stand in the rain too. I don't know. I love you all. Have a great day.